In an insanity plea, a defendant basically says, I did the deed, but at the time I didn't know right from wrong. Insanity is part of a group of defenses called excuse defenses. And in most jurisdictions, if a jury finds that a defendant was insane, they must find that defendant not guilty. Historically, the dominant test for insanity is known as the M'Naughton test, and it dates all the way back to 1843 in England. And the test basically asks, at the time of the deed, did the defendant know the difference between right and wrong? Now, wait a minute. That doesn't mean whether the defendant personally believed what he was doing was right or wrong. It's whether a defendant is aware that the rest of society considers it wrong. So if you hide a body or conceal a knife, then you are aware that everyone around you thinks what you are doing would be wrong. Defendants usually have the burden of proving that insanity defense. In some jurisdictions, it's by a preponderance of the evidence, and in other jurisdictions, it's by clear and convincing evidence. An insanity defense usually relies on expert testimony. So you have to find an expert or a doctor or a medical professional who will testify that you suffered from that medical condition. And as medicine has evolved, more and more creative conditions apparently exist. Ultimately, just because you have a creative insanity defense doesn't mean it's actually going to work, because at the end of the day, you have to convince a jury of your peers.